Coach, congratulations. Can you give us some general comments about the match, please?
Oh, I was thinking that we start with a question, to be honest. Yeah, I would say it was a great fight from our team. It was also in the first half was very active and to support to each other in our defense behavior, and of course was not the best then. When we won the ball in some moments, in some transition moments, but was clear before the game with our crew. But then the second half was for me very well in the form to keep the intensity against the ball, and then also in our transition moments. And then when you are always in the game and you have to keep the focus, to keep the intensity, then you have the chance also to win with the last situation. That was great. It's a really good feeling, not only for the result, more for the performance and the intensity.
Right down in the middle.
Sandro, Daniel, Rebane, Area Sports Network. That second half, you brought Serge Goma on at halftime and dropped Julian behind him. What kind of opened up for this team when you had that duo in the middle?
Yeah, because Wiki had some problems in the first half, and then we decided to don't take the risk then also, and then to bring Serge the first 15 minutes as a striker, then Sofo on the side, and then to keep Julian Hall more in a 10 position, 8 position, our build-up, then our 4-3-3. And yeah, it was good, the whole team, and that's important. And also that these guys, when they are coming from the bench, that they are directly ready to be in the game. And but for me, the whole group was great. And when we are looking to our starting lineup, our offensive line, this was so young group, but they are working so hard against the ball, and was a really good experience for these guys. And this is what we need for the whole group.
Okay, right here in the middle again.
Coach Michael Batista, New York Sports Nation. Could you just talk about the performance of AJ Marcucci tonight?
Yeah.
Multiple saves, multiple big plays for someone who's come up for this team in the Open Cup, regular season. Just talk about what you saw from him tonight.
Yeah, it was, and also it's his birthday today, so great performance, and also every time when they are playing behind our center backs, he was ready and to read in a really good moment the situations, and then to solve these moments. And I would say it was not so many chances now from the opponent, but his attitude, his body language, it was every time in the game, and that was really good job from AJ today.
Right here in the front.
Hello, Coach. Octavio Gomez from Los Baloneros in Mexico. What do you know about Chivas prior to the game, about the weaknesses and strengths of the team?
You mean that I have to talk about the opponent? No.
Yeah, like what do you know prior to the game about Chivas, like their style of playing, and the weaknesses and strengths? Like what do you know about the team before the game?
Yeah, we analyzed Chivas, and but our main focus was, especially after the Chicago game, to bring our performance, to bring our intensity with this young group, and this is what I said was great. And for me, Chivas is a great team. We have seen this in the games before, which we analyzed. Really good players with the ball, especially always the confidence to solve and build up the situations. And it's not so easy to defend and to play our pressing against them, but was from our side was most of the time really good.
Here with Jacob.
Hi, Coach. Jacob Schneider with Goal.com. I'd like to talk to you a little bit about Julian Hall's performance tonight. What went into the decision to put him into the 11? You know, he's only 17 years old, but his trajectory is higher than most teenagers in Major League Soccer. What's he done to earn your trust? And then what did you see from him tonight that maybe pushed it further?
But I would say when we take a look of his minutes, he played a lot in this season, and he played also in the starting lineup against Inter Miami 2 weeks ago. So first half he played as a striker in a 4-2-3-1, 4-4-2, and then he was then in the second half more playing from a 10, from a 8, and he's a really good player. And he has the confidence in small spaces to keep the ball and then to turn, to find the right moment. As a striker, it's a good experience then, especially against the center backs of Chivas. Always to go in the duel, it's not so easy then. but he was fighting. And when I compare this, for example, to the last season, then, but it's normal. Last year he was 16, so now he's 17. But his development is great, and we have to continue with him this individual topics, but especially with the ball and against the ball, it's a really good step in his development the last year.
Okay, we're gonna go all the way to the back.
How you doing, Coach? Sebastian Videla, Football City. Congratulations for the victory.
Thank you.
This is your second time coaching and League Cup against a team from Mexico. Do you can find any difference between what you see day by day here in the MLS in relationship with the Mexican teams? You see some difference?
Really good question. And I said this to the team yesterday and today in our pre-match meeting. So when you look to the games 2 days ago, to the Leagues Cup games, and you can see all these emotions, first of all, from the Mexican teams when they are coming here to play the Leagues Cup. You can see it. And with the ball, it's really good players for me. How they want to play in build-up, to always to have the confidence to keep the ball and to find the right moment. So you can see the Mexican culture of these clubs. And today this team, Chivas, they are also playing very aggressive against the ball. So what we have seen in the last cup, in the last 2 days as well, and when you watch the other games, very aggressive, these teams, good emotion, really good emotions, and good soccer players. So this is how I would describe now this type of play.
Okay, we're gonna go right here in the middle.
Hi, Coach. Luca Richmond, Red Bulls Experience. Rafa Mosquera played 60 minutes today, and we know that you have the expanded roster with a lot of the Red Bulls 2 players. Can you talk a little bit about the expanded roster and if we can expect to see some more players from the second team?
Yeah, you are always asking me about the players from the second team. That's great. Yeah, but this is always, we did it last year, the same with some guys, with Ronnie Donker, for example, is a really good example. And of course, first of all, it's the step then to bring his quality in the training session. When it starts with the second team, then the game when it's the second team, then it's the next step, first team training session. And when you have the right mentality, when you have the right intensity, and also the confidence to play. And this is then clear the next step. And I spoke with him in the morning when we took a walk after our meeting, and I said, okay, it's the same rules what we have in our game like in the second team. So we are playing 11 against 11, and nothing is different. And I like his attitude. So he's always fighting, and he's always in the group directly. And for me, it was a great experience for him today to play against this really good Mexican team. And he did it very well, especially in our tactical point, in our pressing. He was active, and he had then in the second half some moments, in transition moments. So, and this is our way. Of course, this is our way. And we have a lot of good guys. But every time it's important to find the right moment, and then that they get the next step for game minutes. That's always the same.
Okay, we're gonna go right here in the middle.
Sandro, it was clear you obviously were planning for penalties with bringing Noah Ayla on for Tim Parker, but to get that goal with the last kick of the game, just how much of a relief was that to also get those 3 points?
Yeah, of course that's important, and I said this in the locker room directly. It's not only the result, of course it's good then, but when you always believe in your intensity, when you're doing the first step, the last step, which is very important for us, and then every time is then the chance to score also in the last second or in the last minute. And this is good to see, to keep the intensity. And also when it's not a perfect game at the beginning, you have to work first of all in the game, and then you can build up your confidence as well, especially after the last result against Chicago or Inter Miami. It's normal then. But how we build this up in the game, not after the game, in the game, that was for me great reaction.
Okay, we'll go with the final question in the room. Go ahead, Roberto.
Roberto Abramowitz, especialistas del deporte. You were very complimentary of Mexican teams for the games that you've seen, about their passion, tactics, about the way they play. How has MLS been able to be successful against these teams?
Yeah, I can't talk now about the other clubs, but for us was important to create, first of all, not to create the same emotions or something like that. This was not our part in our pre-match meeting. So we want to show for ourselves, for our faces, for our club, for our group, our performance, our atmosphere. That was for us the main part. And we prepared, of course, then our match plan and tactical points, how we want to press and how we want to build up or to find transition moments, which space we have to play. And this was more our focus. But it's a really good competition, to be honest, when you watch these games. And I was surprised, to be honest, when I watched the first game on Tuesday. I was surprised about all these emotions. And then I was thinking, okay, it's really tough. And we had this last year as well. But it's good. And then you have to be ready. It's not only tactical. It's not only a little bit to play. You have to be ready directly in the first duel, in your first sprint. And this is what the guys did very well today.
Okay, and we'll go over now to Zoom with the final question of the press conference with Daniel Fernstein. Go ahead, Daniel.
But thankfully it did clear up. And secondly, in the third competitive match against this club, you finally got the first victory against them. They lost in 2018 in the semifinals of the CONCACAF Champions League.
Yeah, I didn't know that, to be honest. That is now the third game in the history. So it was our third game in Leagues Cup. So we lost 2 games last year in penalties. Yeah, it's good. It's good, but it's not now good that we won the first time now against Chivas. For me, it's more how we want to play and to create our intensity. That's for me the main part. And yeah, the first question, I was afraid, because I got a message then at 2 after our lunch, and we are not sure if we can play or something like that, and it's also difficult. I didn't say that to the guys. It was only for me then. But it's difficult then when you are in the hotel and you got this message and you want to be ready, but you are not. You don't know really. Are you playing, or maybe tomorrow? Or you never know. And I was really happy that we could play today.